going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive.
I don't think anybody in my circle understands it.
What's going on, everybody? AHA family. Today, I wanted to talk about how to maximize your weight loss with water fasting. Before we get into the topic, I wanted to let you all know the AHA wellness journals are back in stock on healthyalternative.org. You can go grab yours right now. And man, it's been a weird past couple weeks. Just a lot of things going on in the world. You know, I'm tapped in more than I normally am. Political things, and also I've been doing a lot of. I've been on Instagram way more than I'm normally on there. So one thing I'm noticing is a lot of information is coming out, and it's probably just the algorithm. You know what I mean? But I've already researched this stuff. But a lot of information is coming out, talking about different foods and just different chemicals and things that are harmful for people. And what I'm starting to understand is as I'm putting out this information, whether we're talking about fluoride or forever chemicals or whatever the case may be, people are really oblivious. One of the things I want you all to understand is my goal here is not to just simply entertain you. It's really to inspire and motivate. I want you all doing your own research. I definitely want you all, double checking my research and just looking for ways to learn how to validate your own information. I think that the number one way to validate information is through your personal experience and your observations. But with that being said, it's important for us to at least verify what we're learning. And the reason why is because as you learn how to verify, when you learn how to go through that process, you'll be able to find information on your own that maybe specifically you're interested in. And I think that will help keep us accountable because, if you know how to seek the information, you can never really say you didn't know, right? Anything that you need to know, you know how to find it. And I think that's a muscle that we have to work. So I want to encourage you all to just develop your own ways of, determining how you fact check and how you research. And I'll give you a hint. Don't just Google it. Okay. Googling it is never just the answer. Remember, Google is a company. It's a third-party company. It's like Walmart. Google has every right to lie to you. Google has every right to mislead you. So, it's important Google's a great resource. YouTube's a great resource, but it's important to be able to use other, avenues of research to just verify, double verify. And then any observable reality, I think that's like observable reality is like king for me. If someone tries to tell me the sky is green, there's really not too much science that can prove that the sky is green. You know what I mean? Because I can observe that it's blue. So today, we want to talk about how to maximize weight loss with fasting. And the way that this is going to start is you want to be able to fast for as long as possible. Okay. Water fasting or any type of fasting, if it's your main means of weight loss, the longer you could do it, the better. So what helps to increase your ability to successfully perform long water fasts? And it starts with preparation. So you guys are familiar with that. You've heard me talk about that. If you have done fasting, if you've been fasting for a while and you feel like you don't need to prep, erase that idea. We all need to prep. Unless you've been actively fasting recently, and you've just simply done a refeed and you're about to go into a fast, you need to do some type of prep. If you go back to any type of normal eating, you want to do some type of prep. This is going to help prepare your body for the fast. And the reason this is important is because every fast is unique. So just because you had a breeze on the last fast doesn't mean that this fast is going to be a breeze. And the reason why is because, our toxicity is layered. So as we start to reach deeper layers of toxicity, we experience different things. When you do a certain amount of fasting, dietary strategy, etc., you're going to you can completely eliminate a certain amount of toxicity from your body. And as long as you don't go back to the habits that created the toxicity, then you'll be free from it, right? But this is why we get such unique experiences with our fasting. So I want to encourage you all to always prep. I usually recommend a week. It's good just in general. It's not even just for the fast itself. It's also for familiarizing yourself and creating a habit out of, better eating habits, just focusing on lifestyle change. So once you have done your prep, and while you do your prep, make sure you focus on hydration. Okay. This is going to be super beneficial. Remember, in order to lose weight, you need water. And the way that you get water is through eating plant material. So this is, fruits and vegetables, high water content fruits and vegetables. These are going to be the optimal sources, better than drinking water, better than even, energizing water or adding salt to water, which I don't think really hydrates that well. I think we just believe it hydrates us well because it creates water retention. But I do not believe that adding salt to your water is a good thing. I never have. People always ask me, Chris, can I add a little salt to my water? I'll be like, nah, I don't recommend it. If you're looking to get like electrolytes or something like that, do fruit infused water, lemon, key lime, etc. Something like that. That will help to add something to your water, but I'm just not a fan of salt. So hydrate well, eat tons of fruit. You can also do juice, fresh squeezed juice during this time. That's going to help a lot. Then once you go into your fast, you want to fast as long as you can. And you can approach this two different ways. You could say, all right, I'm going to do 21 days of fasting, or I'm going to do 30 days of fasting or 40 days of fasting. And that's going to be optimal. You know what I mean? The longer you can consistently fast, the better. However, if you know yourself and you're at a place where you really can't fast that long, don't set an expectation to fast for 40 days if the most you've ever done is 48 hours. I would recommend keep your fasting increments small, short. Okay. And then that way you can be consistent. And if you want to work up to a longer fast later on, you can. And of course, that will be more beneficial for weight loss. But don't forget, as long as you are hydrating well, weight loss is going to come. Now, remember, when you start to hydrate, especially if you're doing water fasting, you are going to retain water because you're hydrating. Okay. But although weight loss is our key here, we can never forget that, what is it really that you're looking for? When people say they want weight loss, they're really saying that they want to look a certain way. They're looking for a particular physique. Now, me personally, I like to focus on health. And I think that everything else is secondary because it all kind of comes with it. The healthier you are, the better you look. But you could potentially fast, hydrate really, really well, not get as much weight loss on the scale, but because you're replacing inflammation with hydration, your body is still shrinking. Okay. So it's important to understand this. But when we want to be efficient in weight loss, we can't skip the step of hydrating. So I really need you guys to hydrate. Yes, I could tell you to, minimize water intake and things of that nature. And you would technically lose more weight. But number one, when you break your fast, you're going to gain it back much quicker because you're gonna hydrate and then you're gonna gain it back. Number two, you're gonna be susceptible to loose skin if you continue that practice over a long period of time, losing multiple pounds. And it's not as healthy for you. So I don't like to recommend that. Now, obviously we're talking about water fasting, but in that same vein, if you want to do dry fasting, because it works on a completely different mechanism than water, you could utilize dry fasting, and that would boost your weight loss tremendously. Okay, so I might do another video talking about how to maximize your weight with dry fasting. But if you guys know how to dry fast, you could use dry fasting. It's definitely better for weight loss. It's an inflammation killer. Still, as you prep for your dry, you want to make sure that you are hydrating. So that's never going to not be a thing, right? So hydrate really well during your prep. Fast for as long as you can. Create reasonable expectations for how long you're going to fast. And then remember that you're going to be, this is like a cycle you're going to create for yourself that you're going to repeat over and over again. It's not like you're going to do this one time and then that's it. You know, if you want to lose 100 pounds, typically, 90 to 100 days of water fasting is what's going to be required, right? If you were to water fast straight, that's how, the speed at which your body would lose that weight. So what you can essentially do is break that 90 days or 100 days up into segments, and then whatever that is, 5-day intervals, 7-day intervals, 14-day intervals, whatever you want to do. And in between your fasts, you optimize it by eating raw food. Raw food obviously is going to be high water content. It's not cooked, so you're getting the digestive enzymes, you're digesting well, you're nourishing your gut flora. So you're going to continue to detox typically. And also, better digestion also converts to better sleep. So if you want to optimize your weight loss, especially while fasting, you want to get good sleep. Now, there is this fasting insomnia that happens. So we're not really talking about that because, that's not something that happens all the time. It's not, it's kind of sporadic for some people. But what you could do to encourage better sleep is get yourself some lavender essential oil, right? Don't buy the cheap stuff. Go to a reputable essential oil provider, distributor, and get yourself some lavender. I'll see if I can leave a link in the description for you guys for the ones that we use. It's pure, potent, well crafted oil. So that makes a huge difference in the effectiveness of it. Sleep is when you're going to lose most of your weight, right? So when you're doing your water fast, if you can be sleep by 10 p.m., right? If you could be sleep by 10 p.m., that'd be amazing. I would definitely encourage you to use something like lavender because you don't want to like wake up too early. But what I will say is, as you start to develop this process, you might find that you want to wake up earlier in the morning, maybe like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. If that's the case, I would just roll with it. If we're looking for optimal weight loss and we know that sleeping is essential, and we know that sleeping, being sleep by 10 p.m. based on the body's circadian rhythm is essential. If you could be sleep by 10 and you could sleep till 5, although that's much earlier than maybe you wake up, if you can keep that schedule going while you're fasting, you're going to boost your weight loss. So we're talking about what's optimal here, right? Another thing that you could do to optimize weight loss is to schedule regular colonics. Now, you guys know I'm not huge on using colonics, but I do recommend them from time to time. I think they're great when you're doing intentional detoxification because any material that you're releasing from your intestinal tract, you want to be able to flush that out, and you know what I mean, because it gives you detox symptoms. So I would recommend, once every 10 days, maybe to go ahead and get a colonic set up during your cycles. Um, that would be a reasonable amount of time. Sometimes the therapist will have different recommendations for you all, but it's not something I would necessarily do every single week, but every week and a half to 2 weeks would be cool, especially around your fasting period, like depending on how long you're going to be fasting for. If you're fasting for 14 days, you may want to do a colonic 10 days into your fast or 8 days into your fast. So that's going to help to optimize, because that's going to make sure that what's being released into your elimination pathways is exiting the body. It's going to help encourage that. Also, you want to avoid putting any like lotion and stuff on your skin. You don't want to clog your pores. Remember, as when you're fasting or when you're detoxing, the body likes to use the skin as a detox elimination pathway. So anything that you put on your skin that could clog your skin is going to hurt you. One other thing, the last thing I'm going to talk about, and you could do to encourage weight loss: breathing exercises. I recommend that you get familiar with some breathing exercises, maybe find a couple that are really easy for you to do, something you could be consistent with, and on a regular basis, whether it's daily or biweekly or whatever you choose to do, whenever you kind of need to, maybe before you go to sleep at night. Doing regular breathing exercises will help to facilitate weight loss, because remember, 80% of your weight comes out through your breath. So deep breathing and learning how to breathe more efficiently will actually encourage better weight loss. It'll also help to eliminate and keep your detox symptoms managed well. So these are some incredible tips for maximizing weight loss. If you want to add one more supplement to it, I would probably recommend Clean Slate. And I would say Clean Slate, right, from the Root Wellness brand. I'll put the link in there with the essential oil as well. The reason I would recommend that is because it removes contamination. It binds to heavy metals, glyphosates, pesticides and stuff, and environmental toxins, allergens, etc., and it ushers it out through the urine. Now you're doing a water fast, which means that you're drinking ample amount of water. You're not really eating dehydrating foods and things of that nature. It's an optimal time to use something like this. And remember that your weight loss is typically, it's going to be in direct proportion to how much toxicity you have in your body. The more toxic you are, if you have a normal functioning body, you're going to gain more weight. It actually becomes a problem when you're very slender and you're toxic. That's everybody thinks that's like cool. Oh, you can eat McDonald's, you eat whatever you want, and it doesn't seem to make you fat, but it's actually not a good thing. So the more toxic you are, typically the bigger you are, but the fat suspends toxicity. That's what it's designed to do. So this product will help to eliminate toxicity from the fat reserves. They have a proprietary process. They break up this mineral called clinoptilolite, and they're able to retain the hexagonal shape that traps the particulate. So you get, almost nano-sized particles that are able to trap these really, really small contaminants and hard to eliminate contaminants from the body. And it just pairs extremely well with the entire process. Hopefully this was helpful for you all. If it was, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, share this. If you haven't joined our channel already, make sure to subscribe. Check us out on ahacommunities.com. That is our free private membership. We got about 5,000 members over there. It's phenomenal, great environment. Just come, learn, ask questions, enjoy. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I will see you all next time.